made it, Vanessa.
Hey, we made it! Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 10K in 30 Day live weekly webinar. You are going to have an amazing time with us here today. We're excited. I have an amazing guest, Natasha Trafiak, who's going to talk to us about how to eliminate mommy guilt. How many of you women entrepreneurs out there are like, oh my God, if I could just figure this out and sort myself out, I know my business would grow. So we're going to talk a lot about mindset today. Again, you're joining us in the 10K in 30 Day live weekly webinar series. We talk about money, marketing, mindset, systems, manifesting, all kinds of cool things. And I'm so happy that you're joining us here. Welcome, welcome. Let us know before we start that you can all hear us. This amazing technology is working. Go ahead and type in the chat box your name and where you're from. I see Kendra's here, Gwen, Peggy, Jesse, Candace, Jackie. Welcome, welcome. We got people from all over the world. We got some Canadians in the house. Hey. And I have my amazing guest, Natasha, who's also from Canada. Hey, Natasha. Let me introduce you to the amazing Natasha. This woman, she might look small, but let me tell you, this woman packs a punch. She's got 6 boys, okay? 6 kids. She's an amazing mom. And today she's going to talk to us all about how to say goodbye to the mommy guilt and live in your full mom power and potential. And she's going to cover, how to shake off kind of the personal limitations to let you live bigger, happier, and more productively. She's going to talk about how to lead your children by example and leave a bold and powerful legacy for your family. Who doesn't want to do that? And also 3 keys to operate from a place of power, inner strength, and wisdom. She is, again, the mom of 6 boys. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Natasha, you get a medal just for that.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Yeah, take it, man. Put it on the wall. She loves to inspire people. She loves to empower moms and other parents. She's homeschooled for 13 years. She's run a transport business, and she's currently self-publishing a children's book. And she enjoys sledding, skiing, rugby, CrossFit, traveling, and family. Welcome, Natasha. It's great to have you joining us today.
It is so good to be here, Vanessa. I'm a huge fan of your webinars, and I'm excited to be here to share. I've been a mom for 21 years, 6 little boys. My youngest one is 9. I'm so excited, so I hope I don't get too distracted.
You look great. Can I just tell you? You give me a break. You've been a mom for 21 years. Like, ladies and girl, what do you put on your face, man? You look amazing.
Thank you very much. I guess most of the time it's just a smile is good. And I have experienced a lot of guilt. I've been through a lot of stuff with my kids. And so if you're feeling guilty, you're in good company. We feel guilty when we leave our kids to do something important. We feel guilty when we make a mistake. We feel guilty when we didn't do anything, but it didn't turn out right. We're like, well, I should have done something, right? And I like to point out that our capacity to feel guilt is linked directly with our capacity to love. And when you get this baby, something happens. Like, you had no idea that you had that ability to love fiercely. So when things screw up, you feel these things are really strong. So it's a problem. And guilt, mommy guilt, there's so many of us that feel it. And to me, when I feel that, I feel like heaviness. What's it feel like to you, ladies? I feel heaviness. I feel pain. Sometimes I can't sleep when I screw up. And a discouraged person can't live to their full potential. Guilt is painful. It is discouraging. It's blocking us from being the best mom that we can be. So I have a story about one of my screw-ups. And one of my little boys was 5, and he was always, he had the oppositional defiance. He had a whole bunch of behavior issues, and I was having struggles in my life and having a bad night. In the middle of the night, he comes to me and he's crying. He's, Mom, I had a bad dream. And I was upset before he came in my room, and I couldn't handle him. And I said, you have to leave. It's terrible. But my little guy needed help, and I couldn't help him. And so I felt the guilt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he fell asleep on the carpet beside my bed. And I took off to the bathroom and I was praying that God would help me to be a better mom. Here comes my little 5-year-old. Mom, it's okay. Come back to bed. And I did. He took me by the hand and he showed me how to be kind to myself. I didn't deserve it, but I learned from it. And, that wasn't the first time I was mean to him because he was just so difficult. And I was strapped, I was stretched, right? And I would just beat up on myself for making these mistakes. And after he showed me that, like I just went into my bed, we curled up, we fell asleep together. And I learned that when I am hard on myself, when I entertain guilt, criticizing myself, it's something that causes me to screw up. It doesn't help me be a good mom. It causes me to fail. And so that was the beginning of me understanding when I support myself and I treat myself well, I'm a better person. I'm a better mom. I didn't, you can talk about whether I deserved it or not. It didn't matter because the point is I wanted to be a better mom for that little man. And I loved him, but I just been so hard on myself that I couldn't be as what I needed to be for him. So it's the beginning of a whole new curve for me, being kind, supporting myself. And from that point, I just never had the same pressure as I did. A little 5-year-old taught me that. So if you're feeling guilty, let me encourage you to, regardless of what it is, unfriend it. It's not your friend. It's an energy leak. It's blocking you. It's negative. It's draining you.
Let's find out here. This is a good point. How many of you guys watching here on the webinar, we're talking about guilt, especially for moms, for women who have children, who want to do it all, and things slip through the cracks or we don't get it done. How many of you guys, beat yourselves up? Hello, right? We have these expectations of ourselves, these super high expectations. I mean, we got 3 kids and we got 3 kids and 2 furry dogs. We call them the 2 little fat boys. One of them's fat. One of them's just, rambunctious. It's a busy house, right? This woman's got 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, the question is, maybe this is a great question to ask, where do you think you fall short, or where do you give yourself the most shit, Let's put it out there, because no one's perfect. And I love that this story, really taught you took something from it and you allowed it to teach you, it wasn't, hey, hey, Peggy and Jack, there's so many amazing women on here. It wasn't, it wasn't the end all. It was like, wow, I can learn forgiveness. Look how fast, he forgave you. A beautiful, beautiful lesson. So I'm excited for this conversation. And I'm welcoming everyone here to the call. Natasha, so what do we do here? How do we move through, all of this guilt that maybe women are having, or when they're beating themselves up, what do we do?
Well, it's a decision. You got to make a decision. This is not good for me, not good for my kids. So I'm going to be kind to myself. When it starts, not when you're feeling the guilt, but in your everyday life, when you're being critical to yourself, you see a picture of yourself, and you're like, oh my God, my thighs. Oh, if you said that about your girlfriend, you wouldn't be friends anymore. And so we're treating ourselves this way. And we can't afford to do that. We can't afford to, it's self-betrayal. We can't afford to criticize ourselves. Of all the people in the whole wide world, this one person, the girl in the mirror, needs us to be kind. So when you look at your pictures, when you're trying on clothes at the mall, you're like, hey, I say that I had to coach myself. Hey, Tash, you look really good. Hey, you're looking fine. And you know what? I don't care if anyone thinks you don't look good, because I think you look, it's just an attitude. And we're so used to saying these harsh things. We don't feel like we don't even notice it. So you have to be really conscious about introducing new ways to treat yourself, new attitudes,
And what you're talking about is a habit, right? It's having cultivating a new habit. And we're really talking about self-love, having the habit of self-love. It's not giving it to somebody else out there outside of us, and not giving them that job that we're supposed to be doing, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
cultivating a new habit. And one of the tips, I'm going to get my pen and write this stuff down. One of the tips that you do is when you go to try things on at the mall, you have a positive reinforcing conversation. Jesse's like, it's so true. Those mirrors are tough. So I'll tell myself, like, this woman right over here is a CrossFit queen. And I've seen her in a bikini. She looks fucking great for having 6 kids. Okay. I'm telling you, just swore on YouTube. But the truth is, she looks amazing in her freaking bikini after 6 kids. One of the ways I criticize myself is I have been less plump. So I've been using this word plump, right? I'm just plump. Get rid of it. Now I joined CrossFit. And yeah, so I like this idea of, telling yourself these nice, not just affirmations, but, giving yourself a pat on the back instead of tearing yourself down. Mm-hmm. Jeff says, mirror therapy is a powerful healing tool. I started doing this when my 3 kids were little. Love it.
Oh,
let me
nice.
grab my pen. I'm right back.
I've been doing it.
Here, in my purse.
I do my affirmations when I'm putting my makeup and washing my face. I'm like, hey, pretty girl, you're gonna have a good day today. And it's powerful. Congratulations, Jackie. That's awesome. I haven't been doing it for 3 years. Well,
so I like this too. This is another, so you said it starts with a decision, and then what you're doing is you're basically setting yourself up to win, with these exercises in the mirror, giving yourself positive, kind of pats on the back. And then the other one is deciding that, hey, we're going to have a really great day, so it's really about cultivating positive habits. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What about you girls? What kind of positive habits are you into? Let us know. Inquiring minds want to know. We want to know. All right. So we got it. So it starts with a decision, cultivate positive habits, mirror exercise. What else?
Well, I know one thing for sure is when we make mistakes, like take it easy on yourself. Don't be the first one to just hammer yourself in. Making a mistake, feels bad. You can feel bad, but then you let it go. You move on. You don't stay there. You don't keep, hammering away at yourself, trying to, I don't know, make yourself a better person by being mean. I'm not sure what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's like trying to beat yourself into a positive, happy place. Doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Give yourself a break.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying we're walking on the beach is something they like to do, meditation.
Those are good.
What my guilty little pleasure is? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not guilty. But when life gets too crazy. What's that?
Is it mom guilt? You have mom guilt and you're not a mom. Well, you are a stepmom, sorry.
I am a stepmom, yeah. I've got 3 kids. A booming business to manage.
Yes.
One of the things I just do, if my life gets too crazy, I just cut out and I go in the bath.
Nice. That's good.
Put the bath on. I'll put music in my ears. I'll, out, gone. Phone is gone. Out of commission. Because then you get back to being instead of the thinking, right? It's the thinking brain that can wipe you right out. You start thinking, oh, I should have done that. Could have done this better. Why didn't I say this? Or Reed says, wine. There you go. Wine's another goodie.
Yeah. What do I have? Tea here. I should have my wine. And I see Jackie says, forgive yourself often. That is huge. Such a big deal. So it can be really tough to forgive yourself the first time, but after it's a natural thing. It's very good. Good for your kids.
Yeah. And I do believe that, being a mom is one of the biggest jobs you're ever going to have. Your kids, my stepkids, so they didn't come out of my vagina, but they live with us. And, I'm making the food and, helping them with their decision process and clothes and getting to school and, habits, right?
Absolutely.
And they look up to you, oh, what would she do? What would Vanessa do here? It's a really big job. So I know a lot of the women, that decide to work on themselves, that's their motivating reason, because they want to be a better role model for the kids. Yeah. So where are we here in my list of good, yummy things here? We're talking about 3 keys to operate from a place of power and peace, inner strength and wisdom, how to lead your children by example and leave a bold, powerful legacy, and how to shake off personal limitations to let you live a bigger, happier, more productive life. So far, we talked about, really loving ourselves, giving ourselves a break, getting into positive habits that empower us, that, bring us up and lift us up instead of, leave us there squandering, beating ourselves up, forgiving ourselves more often, drinking more wine.
Absolutely. Or beer. I'm a beer girl too. I like beer.
Yeah. What else would you suggest for these? What else would you suggest for moms?
Well, I want to remind you, ladies, maybe you already know this, but your value doesn't change. If something happens wrong, someone says something bad about you, you screw up, it doesn't ever change your value. And when you understand your value, that's what brings in quality of life. A lot of people are striving to get quality of life so that they can have value. Perfectionism, showing off, being a snob, they're all trying to do something to get value from themselves, but they already have it. We're people, we're valuable from the very beginning. If you're in a wheelchair, if you get hurt, if you make a mistake, these things don't affect your value. They affect your quality of life, but not your value. And if you can get that straight and remember, when you're dealing with yourself, you are a very important person. You are irreplaceable. You are somebody. You matter. You have dreams, a purpose, a message. So again, when we're supporting ourselves and we're doing self-love, honor the value you carry. Treat yourself like a very important friend, like you would, someone that's highly respected, and honor that, and also the gifts that you have. Don't put those away thinking that putting your gifts away is going to help. We're taking care of the kids now, and I'll take care of my gifts later. Be creative in finding a way to get those gifts into your life now, because your kids are going to be proud of you, and that's not something to look over. Being an example of, hey, that's my mom, she does this, she has this gift, she's a healer in the community, she wrote a book, she's an author. It's really good for them. It's also really good for you to have something that fills you up with the energy and the passion, and then you just fill up and you can do twice as many things and you're happy, right? The kids are enjoying being around you. It feels good when you have your passions and your gifts in action. You're playing to strength.
I like what you said about that. This is really important. You said, people are out there trying to do all these things to be valuable instead of owning it. Mm-hmm. Owning that, because you already are, it doesn't change. Your value doesn't really change unless you're serving, let's say, more people. But you already have that intrinsic value. You don't have to go and try and get it. You already are it. So it comes from this place of owning it, and then being willing to share it, and not put your gifts in the back burner because you're taking care of the kids right now. So how did you do that? Because you launched into your passion, your purpose. You had this calling, to write these children's books. Now they're being published. You were on, I think, you were featured. What was it, on a radio show recently or something? About the book?
And my local newspaper, yeah, they did an interview, and I'll probably be doing a few more, but I haven't really gone after that yet. Just working still in production.
So how did you launch into that? How did you overcome, the mommy guilt to just go and do it?
I had so much. I had a mommy guilt back then, for sure. I had social.
Excuse me.
I was so shy. I had rejection issues. When I wrote, I started doing things I loved, right? So I followed my passions.
Excuse me.
My youngest boy went to school. Bless you, Vanessa.
I'm good.
And so I'm like, well, I don't really like doing the hot lunch at school, but I love reading with kids. So I'm going to go volunteer and do that. And I came home one day entirely filled with energy. Like, I just get so happy. And I wrote down these stories. And it took me almost a year before I told a single person about them, because I was so afraid that someone would say, that's stupid, Natasha, you could never do that. You're not that type of person. So I did end up telling the right person. They encouraged me, and I started taking these steps, supporting myself. You can't do that if you're running yourself down. Honoring what's in me, the gifts. And I also had to overcome, I had to deal with a lot of pain, like blocked things that were kicking around. I hid this one in that room, a few in the basement. And in order to get over your blocks, we have to be able to face these things, face the demons. So that's part of how I did it. And one thing led to another. I reached out for the support I needed. I needed help, and I gathered the friends that I needed around me. It was a choice. I had taught my husband and my children that I didn't matter. I always came last. That was a big deal to get over, and I needed a lot of support to do it.
Yeah, this is amazing. People will treat you how you teach them to treat you, right? What are you putting up with? What are you settling with? I tell you what, it is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. I mean, I'm going to put this question in my notebook. I want to answer it every week, because every week there's, another edge you can answer that question, as you feel better and better about yourself. But that's what you did, right? You decided, okay, you made a decision. I'm going to actually share with this. I'm going to do something about these ideas. I'm going to take an action on it. I'm not going to let my blocks hold me back. I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to redesign my life. I'm not going to let my husband or my kids treat me a certain way. I'm going to freaking be the one to, run the show. And I think that, it's a huge leap. And I think, society has taught, women. I'm 38 years old. There you go. I just told myself 30 years old. But, we grew up with fucking Cinderella and, the little white dwarfs or whatever, kiss a frog, turn into a prince, blah, blah, blah. All of these, I mean, if you look now on TV, they've got these awesome freaking cartoons of Shrek and this and that, and the kids are empowered and they're flying around and they're Harry Potters and they're wizards, and we didn't have that shit when we were kids. We were like taught to get to rely on a man, and oh, you kiss a frog and all your problems go away. And we were almost, I think we're almost really taught to be really dependent and not very empowered. So that's a really big leap that you made, and I'm really proud of you for doing all of that. This is amazing. So talk to us a little bit more about the legacy. How can we leave legacies for our kids?
Well, when you become the person you're intended to be, when you let these things drop off you, you start putting in the affirmations. I have a list of mommy affirmations for you ladies. And
we want them.
Yeah, I know, they're good. They're what I use myself. So you start programming yourself, and you become a more powerful person. You're taking your power back. You're getting strong. Absolutely. And your kids will follow your example. You can spend your whole life sacrificing everything you are, your dreams, to take care of your children. And then when they're 25, they fall in love and they sacrifice everything they are for some boy who doesn't care, or a woman who's whatever. They're going to follow our example. So when you treat yourself well, you walk in your full potential, you take your power that you have, use your gifts, support yourself, surround yourself with the people you need to do the things you're called to do. They're going to follow in those footsteps. You're leaving a legacy that's very long-term focused, right?
Yeah, it's powerful. I mean, when my aunts used to say this to me all the time, they used to make fun of us. We used to go to the cottage and my aunt would be like, just wait until you're 30, then you're gonna have to deal with all your shit. Life is real simple now, but just wait until you hit your 30s, And she would like freak us out with this. We're little kids. What are you talking about? You know, flying around, buzzing around the cottage. Just wait till you hit your 30s. And
Oh my gosh.
right. Okay. Because when you hit your 30s and all of a sudden I realize, oh my God, I'm like turning into my freaking parents here. I'm dealing with the same crap I promised myself I would never deal with, never put up with. I'm right in the freaking thick of it. What the hell is Goonie Google? You know, like what the hell's going on over here? And when you really boil down to it, we pick up and we take on the decisions and the beliefs of our parents, of our families. We do. It's something children do unconsciously. They make those decisions, right? So let's say you have a family member who believes in lack and scarcity, or doesn't believe in themselves, or who's not confident. You know, my father was a brilliant artist, but he didn't really think too much of himself. He didn't have any confidence. So you pick up, you know, unknowingly those decisions just kind of get, whoop, we just like, whoop, they're in my bag now. Oh, I've got all my parents' bullshit in the bag. And then you got to revisit it, right? So what you're saying, and what I really like, you know, Natasha, is, you know, start that train, you know, start that next level of self-care and loving yourself, so that your kids don't have to have such a heavy bag.
Absolutely. They're stronger. Yeah, I mean, we can carry as much as we have strength for. You're in CrossFit. What you're carrying before you started, right? You couldn't do it. But when you have the strength, and that's not like, you know, that's your physical muscles. If you stop, you're going to lose it. But the internal, you don't really lose that. No.
Yeah, that's right. It's something, when you invest in yourself, when you invest in yourself, you never lose that. I'm curious, where can everyone get those mommy affirmations? I think it's gonna be really helpful.
Okay, mommy affirmations download is on my book website. So stickhorsestories.com/free.
Stories.com. Yeah, I'll type it in there too. stickhorsestories.com/free. Awesome.
Yeah.
Peggy's like, oh, my parents' bullshit in a bag. Gonna remember that one and let it go. Yes. That's it. That's what we're doing though. You know, and I think in your 30s, I think my aunt used to, you know, use that to not threaten us, but, you know, hey, get ready, because I don't think life was painful enough until all that bag was so heavy. In my 30s, there's a lot of shit in the bag. You know, it gets painful, it gets heavy. And so painful that, oh my God, I cannot ignore this anymore and keep going. I have to deal with it. And so that's why I think, you know, in the 30s, you're like, wait a second, wait a minute, baby. My life, this was, you know, rewind, take the needle off the freaking record. This was not the way I expected my life to wind up. What happened here? So I love these. Give us some examples of some of the affirmations that you use. One or two of your favorite ones.
Okay, well, let's go right up here. I got my notes over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
No matter what you're facing, when you use that affirmation, everything is going to be okay. You just calm down and you can now make decisions. You're in a better place.
Yeah.
I always make the best decisions. Very good one. Everything always works out for me. You know, depending what you're facing. But those are my staples, you know. Everything always works out for me. So I'm trying to get in on the Facebook page. We're so late because my computer won't go in. Everything always works out for me. Otherwise, you will not be able to make decisions anymore. The emotions will go out the door. So it's important to calm yourself down, to get back into your peace, and where you can make those choices that are going to help you and take you forward instead of coming in completely unglued and going the wrong direction, right?
Yeah.
Keep it okay. And instead of getting into worst case scenario mindset.
Yep. Everything always works out for me. We're always you're programming. And Natasha, let me know if I'm spelling your website right.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Stick Horse Stories. Oh, you missed an S. All right.
Yeah, type it in for everyone. Sorry, guys.
Horse
Stories. Did I forget an S in there?
Stories.com/free.
Okay.
And yeah, here's some more.
So we're always programming our mind. And I love this one because And it's true. If you're flying around and you've got this whip and you're whipping yourself with not good enough, not ready yet, not da-da-da, not good enough, what are you doing? Oh my God, bad, 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 bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're in a pressure cooker. Your brain is being pressure cooked.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you leave something in a pressure cooker for too long? It turns to mush, right? It's overdone. There's nothing there.
It could blow up also. Right? Hit the fan.
Could blow up.
Yes.
So I love this affirmation. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. And look, we're here. We made it on the webinar. No one freaked out. You know, we're 2-3 minutes late. No one died here. We're still here having this great conversation. So you really are programming your mind. And is it okay if I share a little story?
I'd love to. I'd love to hear it.
So I remember when my life didn't work out, and I mean, it really wasn't working out. This is even years and years into my business as a coach, just maybe 5 or 6 years in of being, you know, earning 6 figures as a coach. I realized I was working way too hard. I had already launched a retreat in Hawaii, and I just didn't enjoy my business anymore. And I actually thought I launched this best-selling book. It was such a huge push, and I thought, man, I should be making more money, and I wasn't. And I had all this disappointment. Like I was really mad at God.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, because I was showing up and doing my purpose, and I was like, God, what the fuck? You know, you guys swear again on YouTube, but it's okay. You know, what's going on here? You know, how come I'm showing up, I'm doing all this, you know, I'm doing my deal for you, and what's wrong with me? You know, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have my husband, number one? I'm going to put my wedding ring back on. I took it off for CrossFit to tell you, don't wear your wedding ring in that thing. So I want to work on. Ta-da! So, okay, you know, what's wrong with me? And then I was constantly looking outside of myself. And here's the real nugget. I was constantly looking outside myself. God, what's wrong with me? Why isn't this working? Well, what do you think is in your brain when you have those conversations? What's wrong with me? Why isn't this working? I was asking a power outside of myself. And that was the mistake right there. Instead of taking my power and claiming and deciding and affirming, I am this, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am this. It's everything always works out for me. I am this, I am that. And when I decided to affirm those things, I am, you know, from the first affirmation I tried, it was actually not in my business. I couldn't give a shit about money. I was really looking to find my partner, my life partner. And I was like, you know what? I am irresistible to the man of my dreams, and I'm engaged on October 11th. And he showed up. And that, you know, that was a really powerful lesson to me. You know, I said, man, if I could manifest him, I could do anything, right? And so I really like these affirmations, you know, and that you're you know, showing people really how to command and affirm their truth instead of letting it be outside of themselves.
Well, absolutely, coming into agreement with the truth, absolutely. And you said something, you know, that I know I did to myself. You know, there's this inherent thing that somehow we pick up. We think there's something wrong with us. And when we ask that question, what's wrong with me? There's no right answer. It's like, are you stupid or are you dumb? Like when you ask that question, it's a victimizing question. Yep. So, you know, it'll hurt you no matter what. So if you have that in your vocabulary, switch it around, put something new in there, because let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with you except that you're normal. You face challenges like everyone else. It's totally normal. Hard times.
There's a wonderful quote that I love. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite quotes. There's 2 favorite quotes I have for 2017. Okay, the first one is, failure is a lesson, success is a lesson applied. The next favorite quote I have for 2017 is, sharks don't complain that it's Monday. They're up early, biting shit, eating shit, and letting everyone know they're a fucking shark. Those are my 2 favorite quotes, you know, of 2017. Failure is a lesson. It's a lesson. It's not the end. It's only the end if you never get back up and try again. But success is taking that lesson, the seeming failure, and applying it again, and that's success. You know, that is success. I just joined this new CrossFit team. They don't really know anything about me. They see me come in there with my mermaid hat. They're like, oh, wow, what a great hat. I'm like, oh, thanks. What do you do? Oh, I teach women about, coaching and creating sales for their business. Oh, that's awesome. How long have you been doing that for? Oh, like 8 years. Oh, wow. So like, how did you get into it? I failed a lot.
Mm-hmm. A lot of failure.
A lot of failure. That's where mastery comes from. It's being willing to, not fail and stay there, but to apply it again and become a success. So I love that, you're inviting us to turn this around, because if we have the thought in our mind, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? You're going to go, your mind is going to go looking for that answer. It's going to go prove that answer.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Love it. So we've got people. Peggy's like, I always make the right decisions. That one is awesome. Mm-hmm. So what else? How else can we, what other tools or tips do you have for us to really just let go of maybe the limiting beliefs or the imperfections, or the guilt, and really, step up and honor ourselves?
Okay, well, I have my most favorite tip. I saved it for last. It is so powerful. And it's back to the same boy that I've had. My first son was a perpetual joy. He just was easy, helpful, loving, got along. My second son, he was a perpetual learning curve. It was tremendously difficult and piles of failure. And I had this picture in my mind of him. And they weren't good pictures. These pictures were being formed by my fears. Worst case scenario pictures. At one point, just because of his teen years, he was difficult. I was so afraid. I had this picture of it being minus 40 degrees. The snow is blowing. My son is living on the streets. He's doing street drugs, nowhere to go. He's freezing his ass off. And it's an entirely hopeless picture. And I realized, doing my affirmations, listening to how I think, I'm like, holy shit, this is a horrible picture. It's fear-based, right? And then when I changed it, I made a new picture. This boy he was in Air Cadets. He wanted to be a jet fighter pilot. So I'm like, fine. There's his jet in my mind. Big, perfect jet. There's my boy. He's looking so good in his camo. He puts his helmet on, climbs up into his jet, sits down, closes thing, he's good to go. And when I changed that mind picture, wow, my relationship changed with him instantly. No more stress, no more pressure. I wasn't like, Riley, when are you going to do this? And it changed instantly. Within 3 months, this boy had a job that he liked. He showed up for the training. He found someone to pay for his training because I wouldn't do it. I could not do that just because of our situation. Like, the answer for him to borrow from me was a no, right? And he found all these things on his own. He paid back that guy. He showed up to his trainings. We're talking about a boy who would get a job and then just not show up. Now he's got his own place. He's working steady. He's got 3 jobs. People are calling him. And I realized my fear, this fear, letting it live inside me, was hurting my kids. And when I changed it to faith, there was encouragement. Instead of that pressure and that negativity was sucking, I put encouragement. And all of a sudden, poof, the wind caught his sails. It was I don't know, I think maybe I was holding his sails closed. So it's been amazing.
This is powerful.
Powerful. 3 months.
The picture that you hold of people, there's a quote by Neville Goddard who says, that's the best form of prayer. Imagination, imagining your clients or your family members or your friends, imagining them, seeing them in your mind's eye, succeeding, happy, healthy,
Absolutely.
That is the best form of prayer.
That's exactly what happened. I'm like, I'm doing this for everybody. All my boys have this picture. And anytime I do pray, okay, show me the picture. And it's just powerful. Feels so powerful.
So this is what happens when you get empowered. It ripples out and your entire life changes.
Absolutely. My life is so changed. Like, can you imagine? I never left my house. I stayed at home with all my kids because I thought it was too hard. I was too scared, too shy. I can't do it. Sort of chasing my dreams, sort of learning these lessons that you and I are talking about. I got the support and encouragement I needed. I wrote these books. I told someone, I'm creating them. I'm working on, is it going to be a passive income for me? I'm meeting amazing people. Like, everything changed, decision after decision, one step at a time.
Absolutely. Your whole life changed, but you decided to take, Veronica's like, thank you for sharing. Peggy's like, wow, amazing. Yeah, it is freaking amazing. But this is what happens. It's not outside of yourself. It's not somebody else out there is not going to do it for you. You make the decision to change and to act in spite of fear and to, overcome all those limitations. And then life shows you, hey, wow, life shows you the product, the fruit of that, which is just amazing. Congratulations.
Very good. So yeah, life is good. And I'll tell you, like, the most amazing part of it is seeing my idea. I take my idea and I see it in digital form. I have my stories, like when they got printed out, I was like, just an incredible feeling. It's something that I made. Like, it's not as good as my kids, but it's pretty darn good when you have an idea and you get to see it come into action. And then these people are sending me videos of their child reading the stories that I made, an idea that I was too afraid to pursue at one point. And they're like, Tash, we love this. My son is learning to read with your books. And I can't even explain, like, the feeling. I improved myself. It wasn't selfish. It improved my community. It's improving other lives all over the world. Very exciting.
If
I can do it, you guys can too. Absolutely.
Yes. And that feeling of fulfillment, right? That's the gift. It's not the money. The money is great. Money comes too. All right. Let's be honest. But it's not the reason you go out and you follow your dreams. Absolutely. The reason you go out there and you take action on your dreams is for that feeling right there, that somebody else has benefited. Somebody else, you raised 6 kids. You saw kids struggling with their reading. You had boys that had, issues with reading. You came up with these books. It was an idea. You were afraid. I don't know if who's going to like it. You take action on it. They're printed. You're getting interviewed on the newspaper. People are buying your books, reading them, using them, and telling you how it's changing their children's lives. Pretty freaking awesome, Natasha.
Awesome. Yes. So, yeah, I'll tell, so a free book. You guys are getting a free book. I'm just going to give you a really quick idea of what makes this book really cool. And right now, when kids are learning to read, they take 1 to 4 years to learn all the alphabet letters, the sounds of the alphabet, right? And then they open a bunch of books that they can read little parts of. Well, these books the first book has 3 letters, okay? And then kids read right away. They're reading. And if you've ever had a child with reading struggles and they finally start to read something, nothing motivates them more than when they're reading. So if they can learn 3 letters and read right away, they just take off. It's amazing. There's nothing out there like that. So I'm pretty excited. I'm thinking, I use that affirmation. Costco finds these books irresistible. They cannot resist these books. I'm going to sell 1 million of these.
Watch out. We're going to see them in Costco soon. This is so generous of you. Thank you for offering, a book to all the viewers. I think you also have another offer for everyone to connect with you and do. Is it a goal setting strategy? Tell us more about it.
Absolutely. So, when we are pursuing things like this, a passion project, or we have a goal, we have something we want, you're in CrossFit, we have to overcome a lot of things. And that's what happened. To pursue this, I had to overcome, and it felt good. So I have a goal setting strategy consultation for you if you want, because Vanessa, my very good friend, has a fabulous webinar. I'll do that. And I have opened a private Facebook group yesterday for anyone who wants to take the 30-day mom affirmations challenge.
Awesome.
Yeah, where we're all going to do it together. We're going to support each other and see what happens.
I love it. So if I'm just going to go and find the link to, what's it called? The 30-day affirmation challenge.
It's on my website. So if you go to stickhorsestories.com/free, you will be able to see it there. And
I love it. Mom affirmation challenge. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull the link right off your Facebook page. I'm going to stick it in here for everyone. I think it's great. I love the picture too. Where am I here? I lost all these things. Oh, okay, I'm back. Crystal saying, loving it. Thank you. Okay, there's the Facebook page.
good.
Group.
And on my website, you can also sign up to get information on my books. Follow me. All of that is there. And I can send you, if you sign up on the Facebook page, or sorry, not my Facebook page. If you sign up on my website, I'll send you all the notes for the webinar. I wrote a really good article on it.
Sweet. So there's two.
Oh, and that's also how you get your free book. Sign up there, just so I have your email. When it's ready, I'll send it over.
Awesome. So go to stickhorses.com/goal. And sorry, it's stickhorsestories.com/goal. That's where you sign up to get the free book and also get your free goal setting session with Natasha. And then you can also join her free Facebook group.
Yes.
Which is the Mom 30-Day Affirmation. Mom Affirmations 30-Day Challenge. You can search it on Facebook, or you can just click the link here right in the chat. I've posted it as well. I love it. I love it. I'm going to highly recommend that, you know, if you're a mom and you're like, oh my God, I want to follow my dreams, get a hold of Natasha. She's rocking it. I mean,
yes.
Really, really well done. Thank you for sharing today. You know, man, it is a freaking journey. Get uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Get uncomfortable. I made a little video this morning before I went to my CrossFit. You know, I know it's going to hurt when I get in there. I'm paying people to push me. You know, because the truth is I'm never going to do it on my own. Never. Otherwise I would have done it already. You know, so this idea of getting uncomfortable, you know, going after our dreams can be uncomfortable. It's doing new things. It's scary. You know, what if we fail? Oh my God. And, you know, having support, having people who have done it, you know, to, you know, stand by you, to mentor you, to lead you, to offer you guidance. It's the only way. So I'm really so thankful that, you know, you're here today sharing with us and inspiring others. And Kendra's like, thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah. Peggy's like, definitely join you. Thank you. So this has been awesome. I encourage everyone to go ahead and, you know, poke around on Natasha's websites, get one of her books, sign up for her goal setting session, and also join her Facebook group, because we love affirmations. I love affirmations. And they, you know, what changes your life, what really changes your life are their habits. They're habits. And you know, people have habits for success and they have habits for failure. So which habits are you going to get going on? I'm doing the CrossFit habit.
Yes.
Yes.
Go girl.
Natasha's a CrossFit queen, and tell you what, after 6 kids, you would never ever in your life think that this woman had 6 kids. She is in shape. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. So thank you, Natasha, for sharing here, and thank you everyone for joining us here on the 10K and 30-day live weekly webinar. You never know what you're going to get, but we always have awesome conversations. We talk about money, mindset. We talk about systems for success. We might even talk about eyelashes. I'm joking. Sometimes we do talk about eyelashes. So thank you, everyone, for joining. I am going to invite you to come again next week. We have inspiring conversations to help you take your life and your business to the next level. We have amazing guests, lots of love and inspiration. Jackie's like, I'll tell my daughter about your website. I have 2 granddaughters now, 2 and 1 years old. They will love this book. Yeah, absolutely. And if you know somebody who's got children who need to learn how to read, you want to get in touch with Natasha. Her books are awesome. So thank you, everyone. And I will see you on next week's 10K and 30-day live weekly webinar. My name, again, is Vanessa Simpkins. Have an amazing week, everyone.
Bye, lady.
Bye.